All throughout the Bible, it shows that we as humans, we are not cogs in a machine. We are not robots. We are not just numbers meant to be exploited to, be as efficient as possible and churn out the most product as possible and just have this constant, never-ending competition of, we got to beat last year's thing. We got to get more. That meme of Kylo Ren going, more. What is up, y'all? Welcome to episode 7 of the Restored Geeks Podcast. My name is Tristan.
I'm Chandler.
Yes, sir. Let's get into it. Severance and work-life balance and how that relates to Christianity and all that. How? Well, stay tuned. Anyway, let's get into what we've been doing this week. What games have you been playing?
You start that.
Fine. Starting with gaming. I played some... what's it called? Claire Obscure Expedition 33 a little bit. I didn't play a lot. I do plan on playing a lot tonight. It's I'm still in that flying water place thing. I forgot what it was called, but I got to where you find the merchants that you have to duel in order to unlock whatever big secret thing they got.
Yeah. It's usually just a skin.
Yeah. So I'm going through that right now. I found what's her name, the Gustav's.
Male.
Yeah, Male. Is that how you say her name?
Mile.
Yeah. I got to her, and so yeah, that's what I've been doing. Then other than that, it was just been the Mario Kart that we played yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you?
I've been playing the new Destiny DLC. If you want my thoughts on that, go over to our Dorathian channel. I've made a video on it.
Yes, sir.
But I was just finding out just before this, apparently people are complaining that the raid this past yesterday, Saturday, was too hard, and Bungie said it was because the damage was actually bugged. To be entirely honest, I don't care.
Okay.
The reason I say I don't care is quit being babies. You got it completed. It was difficult, which is fun.
Yeah.
I don't want baby raid.
Right.
But speaking of baby, I've been playing the new Donkey Kong Bonanza.
DK Bonanza?
And right now I like it. It's okay.
Yeah.
I don't think it's anything super special. And I especially don't really like how easy it is. There's no challenge to it at all.
Yeah.
It's just kind of baby mode.
Right. It's, but yeah, watching you play it too, it looks really fun. Hey, but it I don't know, that weird, it shows the, base level programming of the map while you're trying to fight through tunnels. Bust through tunnels. To me, that's kind of just immersion breaking, but I understand the camera would be annoying if you were just going through the tunnel thing.
Oh, you're talking about when it zooms out and you can see the bottom of the map.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, it helps. I like that more because I don't have to constantly spam his slap just to see through it.
Right. I don't know. It looks like you're glitching out of the map sometimes, but I know it's just interesting. Well, yeah, that's all that's been out. I guess we'll get into the gaming news then, because we don't have our other friend this week. We didn't have him last week either. He's been working. He's been pretty busy, so we don't know when he's going to be able to get back on the podcast.
Yeah.
So, but first off, we have I actually got a soundboard. So yeah, I got buttons here.
I probably sound like a female right now. Do I sound like a female? Awesome. Good.
Yeah.
That's my soundboard. That's my soundboard. I like it. I got a new soundboard. Let's go. Anyway, so to start off with the gaming news, so apparently the Switch 2 controllers is having drifting issues. The drifting stuff from the Switch 1 is back. I don't know if they learned.
Of course not.
Learned from that. Yes, I said learned. That's what people here say.
I don't get it. The Xbox and the PlayStation have not had major issues with this all the way since the 360.
Right.
How is Nintendo still having issues with this?
Yeah, exactly.
Make it better controllers.
Yep. Agreed. So yeah, that's been a thing, and I've seen a lot of posts of people being like, here's how to fix the stick drifting issue and all that. So, yeah, it's a new well, not a new problem. It's a existing problem that unfortunately carried over into the Switch 2 right now for some reason. Then next up we had Ghost of Yote gameplay reveal, which it looks really fun. It looks like Ghost of Tsushima. Just you play as a woman. No, I don't think it's woke because of that. we can have female protagonist as long as she's well written. I don't care. Because I'm not going to just get mad just because there is a female protagonist. There's been plenty of female protagonists in video games and just in media. The problem isn't that they're a female; it's when they're badly written. That's when the problem is. So hopefully she'll be well written and hopefully it'll be fantastic. But yeah, I mean, not much more to really say about it. I mean, I'm super excited when it comes out, and we'll definitely give thoughts about it and do kind of a mini review here when it comes out.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, looking forward to that.
Guess the only one I have is the Subnautica devs, the original devs that got fired recently, are now suing the parent company. So apparently, and I'm saying allegedly because this is still in a court case, so allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly, the company that took over offered them an incentive. If they reached a certain monetary goal, they would then pay them like $2.5 million in bonuses, something like that.
Yeah.
I think it was $2.5 million. I may be wrong. It was a big number. They were going to pay them bonuses for that.
Right.
But and since Subnautica 1 was so popular and there's so many eyes on Subnautica 2, allegedly they knew this game would reach that monetary goal. Easy.
Yeah.
And it definitely would. I agree. It would reach that monetary goal because a lot of people are looking forward to Subnautica 2.
Yeah.
So allegedly they then proceeded, because they didn't want to pay out and they knew they would have to, fired the original dev team and then postponed the game because they were supposed to make the monetary goal by the end of 2025. Postponed the game to 2026, saying it needs work. We've had a couple of devs come out and allegedly say that it has actually been mostly finished. It would have been fine to come out in early access. And as far as I've seen with gameplay, that is the case.
Yeah.
So it does seem like there's validity to these statements. But now the devs that were fired are suing them for wrongful firing. And so they're going to have to prove that in court. So for now, everything's alleged until we get an actual ruling.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hopefully they win that.
If it's true, they're going to win that easy. Because delaying the game past the monetary goal is already probably illegal. Because you made the incentive. If you delayed it and then say you didn't make the incentive by your own decision to delay it, that sounds like malpractice.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, anytime these companies do that, well, we're always going to root for the people that actually are putting the work into the game, unless it proves that they're the ones that were in the wrong.
Yeah,
but yeah, because there's been too much of a problem with higher ups. Exploiting their own devs. And it has been a thing within gaming for decades now. So, yeah, hopefully they win on that.
Yep.
And with that, I guess we'll move into movies. What movie have you watched?
None.
None?
I've been busy.
I don't think I watched a movie either. I haven't watched a movie. What I do want to say, I do want to watch that, it's got a weird name, but I've heard it's actually really good. It's called K-Pop Demon Hunters. It's a new animated kids movie, but it's apparently very well put together. So if I watch it and it is, then I'll definitely I might do a video on it or something. I'll definitely talk about it here because I want to support kids stuff that is actually well written, because I'm not supporting crap like a Minecraft movie.
Yeah, exactly.
We need to demand better quality for our kids.
That kind of ties back into why I was talking about Donkey Kong the way I was.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's good quality, like, gameplay-wise, or game-wise. Like, it's optimized and all that, but we need some more challenge for kids and stuff like that.
Yeah. If we let our kids just consume dumb crap, they're going to grow up dumb. Like,
yeah.
And we shouldn't be sitting here being like, what is wrong with our kids? The crap that you all gave them, that's what you all fed them. Like, that's what's wrong with them.
Now, I don't know that we should go so far as to telling them absolutely nothing, and then they have to find out for themselves. They got to beat the original Donkey Kong from 1970-something just to get a token, and then beat it again. Or you get the banana first, then you got to beat it again to get the token that you need to open the door.
Hey, listen, that put hair on your chest. That game, the only reason I knew how to do that is because our cousin, who lived with us at that time, I was like 4 or 5 years old, and I watched him do that. I watched him like figure that out himself.
He figured that out. I thought he had the because there was that was back when game guides books were big.
Yeah,
and it was definitely in it.
Good. No, I don't think. I think he actually figured it out.
That's crazy.
I mean, he probably, I don't exactly remember how, because I was only 4 or 5, but he probably went around the entire map just doing everything.
Yeah.
To figure, because it tells you absolutely nothing.
To be entirely honest, he probably got bored and was like, well, I'll just try to beat this. And then he got a banana, and then he got bored again and tried to beat it a second time.
Yeah, like, you got to get that token. For anybody that doesn't know what we're talking about Donkey Kong 64. It's how to get the very last key inside King K. Rool's throne room.
Yeah.
And the only hint you get is that when you walk into his throne room, that door that has the key in it has the rare symbol on it. And it tells you nothing after that. So you go and you go to that arcade area, you beat that Donkey Kong game, you get the banana, then it shows you that you'll get the token after if you beat it again. That's the only way you know how
to
do that. So, yeah.
Great game, though.
Yeah, fantastic game. That I want Nintendo to fully remake it, but not touch anything on the structuring side, because I want to see people whine and cry about trying to figure that out, and how many collectathon stuff that they have to get in that game. I love the game, but I can understand people not liking that there's like 5 different banana currencies in it.
That, and stop pretending that Luigi's Mansion 1 doesn't exist. Remaster it.
Yes. Luigi Mansion 1 is a masterpiece. I love it. That game is fantastic.
Back to movies.
So yeah, anyway, back to movies, because everything ties into gaming, okay? Gaming is the apex. But we'll move on to movie news from there. So, Superman has topped 400 million in box office worldwide. So it has it's gained what it needs. Like it's topped. It broke even and then some, basically. So it's done good. I don't know what this means for the future of the DC. It sounds like they're trying to build up a new one. I'm so sick and tired. I don't care. I haven't seen the new Superman. I don't care for it. Nobody's saying that it's like a masterpiece or anything like that, so I don't care. Because I'm so sick and tired of superhero movies. I'm so sick and tired of superhero cinematic universes. I'm sick and tired of us trying to start a brand new one every single year. I'm done with it. Move on. Come up with original crap, please. Like, I'm sick and tired of it. Can we start a new trend?
What would it be?
Well, it seems like it's video game adaptations, but those are most of those are garbage anyway. So that's what it seems to be. But I don't know. We'll see. Any trend that happens within Hollywood is going to turn into corporate slop. So
yeah,
that's just how it goes. Then the Batman 2, apparently the main writers of it have said that they've completely gotten done with the script and have sent it off to get filmed now. So the Batman 2 is apparently being filmed, which I wanted to call attention to this because it sounds like they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, in the sense that, like, because it's sad that this has to be, this is something that has to be praised nowadays, but this is how movies used to be. Like, they would completely write the script, tighten it up as much as they could before they went to film.
Yeah.
nowadays, a lot of movies, they'll have a lot of writers, they'll have plot beats, and then they'll start having the movie filmed before they get the script done, and they just kind of wing it as they go. And that's why we're getting all these movies that it's like this happens and then this happens and then this happens, and there's enough plot holes to sink a modern day cruise ship within the script and all that. So it sounds like hopefully the Batman 2 will actually be pretty solid. I mean, the Batman 1 was solid, I thought, as well. The Penguin is excellent. I 100% recommend the Penguin. Hopefully he gets his jaw broken by Batman in the Batman 2 here.
I agree. If this movie did not have one point of Penguin getting pummeled into the hospital,
yeah. Go watch the Penguin. It's really good. Hopefully it'll be well written. Obviously, it still depends on how good the writers are that wrote it, but it sounds like it's going down. They're doing it the correct way. They've gotten the script done, and now they're filming it. So from there, I guess we'll move on to TV shows. I don't have any TV show news, so
I don't either.
So we're just going to get into what we watched. I guess I'll start with Mike since you went first with movies. Yeah, we're kind of back and forth.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll start with mine.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, Breaking Bad on my Blu-ray, because I have the entire series on Blu-ray, so I've been watching that. Halfway through season 4, it's obviously fantastic. Breaking Bad is basically like the Lord of the Rings of TV shows, in the sense that, not in like a fantasy sense, but in the sense that it is like seen as the apex and is referenced by everybody when it comes to TV shows. So yeah, if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. Obviously, it's R-rated, so if you're a Christian that has convictions on that, the sex and nudity is like PG-13 in it, so it's not like that's not egregious, but the violence, even though the violence in it is what can get egregious, it's not like every episode, but when it happens, it's there to be disturbing. That's the point of it. So anyway, yeah, if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. What more can I say on it that hasn't already been said? There's billions of analysis. It's probably the most analyzed TV show on the internet. So, yeah. Just like Lord of the Rings is the most analyzed movie series on the internet as well. But other than that, nothing else. What about you?
Watch One Piece.
Of course.
So
One friend is the friends we've made along the way.
You may be wondering, didn't you say you're caught up? Why are you still watching One Piece? That's because I've actually been working on something. I wanted to start a series where I'm going to analyze it arc by arc. I've restarted the whole show.
You'll be doing that till you're 50.
Probably.
Nice. One Piece, Analyzing a Disaster Piece, Part 1. Yes.
One Piece has good highs, I think.
Yeah.
But very horrendous lows.
Nice.
That'll have you going.
Yeah.
Trying to get through it, so.
Yep.
But I'm not putting any time frame on when that's coming out because, holy crap.
Yeah.
I got a lot.
And no, we have not seen Squid Game Season 3 yet.
I refuse.
I've heard it's not even worth it, so yeah, I'm not watching that. I recommend Squid Game Season 1 and then stopping, because it's apparently like Season 3 is apparently the end, but there's apparently no payoffs, like, really, for it. So it's like, okay, just watch Season 1. Season 1, it has a payoff, and you just cut it off there. So, yeah. That's about it on all of that. So we'll move into the main topic, which is going to be Severance, the TV show Severance, which we have been watching. We have not watched any this week. But, yeah, Severance and work-life balance and how that ties into Christianity on that. For anybody that hasn't watched, so spoiler warning for Severance. Now, we have not seen the entirety of Season 2. Which is the latest season.
Yeah.
We've seen about, 4 episodes into it now? So, yeah. So, we haven't seen the end of Season 2, so that's not going to be... But we're not talking about whatever happens at the end of it. We're taking a theme from it that I've noticed is the entire, consistent through line throughout it. Which is, the whole theme of work. Severance is a case study on not really capitalism, but corporatism.
Yeah.
In the sense of people being treated as robots at a corporate job to the point to where they're not really treated as humans. They're treated as, well, they're treated as like a number that's a commodity in the sense of being able to churning out products and doing whatever it takes to be as efficient as possible. And the problem with that here in our society has always had a problem with, and an ever-growing problem, with trying to be as efficient as possible, trying to get as many products out as possible. You know, the rise of Amazon and trying to be the like quickest shipping company out there to ship products out, you know, quicker than everybody else than the mom and pop shops do. It ends up destroying the mom and pop shops. And a lot of the employees end up getting treated as like robots instead of actual humans. To do that, and this has created like a very stressful environment and very unhealthy as well in our society. And the pandemic, I remember, I don't know if this is still an ongoing thing, but when the pandemic happened, there was a movement called it was called like the jobless movement, but they weren't really jobless because they were lazy. A lot of the people were just sick and tired of this kind of environment, and they wanted like a reform in it.
Yeah.
So they weren't going, that when things started opening back up, they weren't going back. They were protesting against that. Now, obviously, that wasn't sustainable, so I think that kind of died because people realized they're like, yeah, I need to put food on the table. But this show explores the whole, you know, separating home and work life to like an extreme, where in this fictional world, there's a fictional like scientific procedure that the characters who work at a company called Lumen, and we have not seen the rest of season 2, so we don't know exactly what Lumen is. It does seem like it's trying to like play into like cult themes and aspects with them.
Yeah, it does,
especially with that what's his name, Kier, that they worship.
Kier Egan.
Yeah. That they worship.
So, what is her name? Whatever her name was, she had a freaking shrine to him that she prayed to.
Yeah, so it definitely looks like it's playing into
Cabell.
Yes, Cabell. Yeah, definitely looks like it's playing into cult stuff. But one of its main things is that the main character Mark and anybody else that works at Lumen, they go through a procedure called the Severance procedure, where they have is it a chip? It's some device.
It's some chip. They put it in their brain stem that allows it. It basically, as far as I understand, it acts as a switch, like a light switch. On one side, it activates this one, and you can switch it over.
Yeah.
And somehow the elevator activates it.
Yeah. And again, we haven't seen the preface everything. We have not seen the rest of season 2, so no spoilers.
But it does seem that it is activatable remotely using the overtime contingency.
Yeah, so they get this device, and what it does is it like splits their brain waves, where they're basically two completely different people. Outside of work, they have no idea what goes on the inside. They can only go by what they're called their outies.
Yeah,
they can only go by what word of mouth people tell them happen in there.
And then it's vice versa as well. The ones on the inside never see the outside.
Yeah, and they're called innies.
Yeah.
So they're basically like seen as two different people.
Now, we're talking about work-life balance, but another conversation I would like to have on the show later on came from the scene with what's-his-name meeting his wife.
Yeah.
I want to, when we get to talking about that, I want to talk about how I don't think that was a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anything good can come from that if you're going to do the severance thing.
Yeah. The whole thing is like separating work and life, work and life. And obviously this is in the show, it's to an extreme where Mark, he has trauma from losing his wife.
Yeah.
And he decided to go through the severance procedure in order to have like 8 hours a day where he doesn't think about it. The problem with it is that he's basically a completely different human being inside Lumen. So, when you sit and think about it, it doesn't really make any sense either. Like, why somebody... would do that. And this isn't like a flaw to the
It's not a
story.
flaw. It's not a flaw. It's questioning his thought process.
Yeah.
Because efficiently, he doesn't even get to enjoy that 8 hours.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't. He has no idea what happened.
So he's still stuck with his outie self just being out and still with the trauma of his wife. Like,
Yeah.
Like, so if you think about it, like the thought process to go through it doesn't make any sense. And that's kind of the point. That's kind of what the show wants you to think about.
Now, the other guy with the glasses,
Yeah.
his reasoning is he could not hold down a job himself.
Yeah. I forgot his name.
So his reasoning seems kind of sound.
Yeah.
I'm confused about the older guy. Like, there's something else going on.
Wait, I'm sure that'll be revealed at the end.
I think he may be...
No, Bert's the Christopher Walken.
Yeah, Bert's his, anyway. No, he seems like I think he's been there before. I think something else is going on with him. And then we do know what's going on with Kelly. She's actually the daughter of the current CEO.
Of the current CEO, yeah.
And
we don't
be CEO.
We don't exactly know why she decided to sever herself.
No, we don't.
That's not. I don't know if it will get explained at the end of season 2 or what. But yeah. So back to the work-life balance thing. So to tie this in with life and tie this in with Christianity, like in the Bible, work is not a bad thing. Work in it, like in Genesis, God commanded when he created Adam and Eve, he commanded them to work, to subdue the earth.
Yeah.
And to be fruitful and multiply, and that meant, obviously have kids, but it also meant like take care of the plants and animals and all that. It wasn't until the fall when Satan, through a serpent, tempted Eve to eat the apple from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil that God commanded Adam and Eve not to touch. And it was there as like I'm God, I tell you not to do this.
Yeah.
Let's see if you don't do this. And obviously they failed that. And so God cursed work. So he told Adam, you will work through the toil and sweat of your brow, which means that work was now cursed, that we humans break down.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why work is so burdensome for us, because that's why work is so burdensome for us now, and why it feels like something we don't want to do, even though it is vital for life. Without work, none of this will be going on. We wouldn't be able to live or anything like that.
Yeah.
However, within this now burdensome thing, rest is now a thing. Well, okay, let's actually back up. Rest was also before the fall as well, because it's in the 7th day of the 6 days of creation. And whether or not those 6 days were metaphorical for like eras and all that, that's a completely different topic. Because I'll bring that up because I know that some people, especially non-Christians who may be listening to this, they know that some Christians hold like young Earth 6-day creationism.
Yeah.
When it comes to that, there's an entire discussion that can be had on that. I don't really care because I don't think it's something we're ever going to know until we're with God in heaven, because we don't have super duper concrete evidence for either one.
Yeah.
For either view. So I think it's something that we'll only know when we're in heaven. And it's such a tertiary doctrine of theology that it does not mess with anybody's salvation or way that they live their life in Christ anyway. So it's just something that people can theorize on and nothing more. But on the 7th day, it said that God rested. Now, that rest does not mean that God is like us humans and that he got tired and had to sit down and kick his feet up. No, that rest means that he quit with the work and he enjoyed what he made. So rest originally was also meant for us to enjoy the work that we put in, the fruits of the work that we put in. So, but with the now cursed put on work, resting now also becomes resting in order for your body to recover, your body, mind, and soul to recover, and also to enjoy the fruits of your labor. It's now both of those things. Just like work is now like, work is good because what God originally intended for life, but it's also burdensome because of the curse. So with that, a work-life balance is vital, and the Bible even shows us that. Like God even mandated for the Israelites, they worked for 6 days, and on the seventh day, he demanded them to rest.
Mm-hmm.
The Sabbath day. And in the Old Testament, he even went so far as to say that anybody that worked on the Sabbath was to be cut off from Israel. Because that was to show how holy he is and how much he meant that. And nowadays, we're not to do that. Nowadays the Sabbath is any day that you're able to do it. It's not strictly on a Sunday.
Exactly.
So work-life balance is vital even in the Bible. And there are multiple parts of the Bible that even when people overwork themselves or get overstressed, that it shows the importance of like rest, not just physically, but mentally as well. Like Elijah the prophet in 1 Kings 19, he gets super depressed about, preaching what God told him to preach to the Israelites, and the Israelites not liking it, and most of them not liking it because they were in sin and they needed to repent. And they had an evil queen called Queen Jezebel during that time, and she threatened to kill him multiple times. And he runs off, and there's a part in 1 Kings 19 where he is super depressed, and he even asks God to kill him. But God sends an angel, and instead of the angel rebuking Isaiah or Elijah, the angel cooks food for him and just tells him to eat. So that was like just calm down, rest, all that. So that stuff like that is all throughout Scripture. You got David, who writes a whole bunch of Psalms where he's very depressed, crying out to God, and then the very next one will be him resting in God. It is vital for us to have a work-life balance. I do think it is vital. It is a really good thing to separate work and home life in the sense of you go to work, you focus on that for however long you're there, 8 to 12 hours. And then when you come home, you should be able to hang it up at the door and focus on life. Focus on, your family, friends, hobbies, all that. And not have to worry about work. It's the reason why I'm not for this whole, corporatism, which is
always on call.
Yeah, always on call. I can't stand that. I think that's part of our society that needs to it's something in our society that needs to get ripped out. However, Severance goes like an extreme end with that. Obviously, because that's the whole point of it.
Yeah.
Where it's these people who separate work and home life, they are two completely different people. It becomes like a hellish nightmare, honestly. Because the Audis, they have no idea what goes on in there, as we said before. So anything could be going on. They could be getting abused. They could be in a cult and all of that. Because, what happens with Mark? I forgot what happens with him. He gets hurt. But,
Kelly smacks him with a stapler.
Oh, yeah.
And then they just say that he dropped something on his head while putting stuff on the shelf.
Yeah, they send a note to his Audi that he just dropped something on his... he fell over and hit his head or something like that. So they could lie to their Audis, and their Audis have absolutely no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
And then to the innies have no autonomy whatsoever. They are treated like children. They're infantilized in this atmosphere.
You gotta have your dance moment.
Yeah, there's no... Yeah.
That was a very cringe scene. What was that going on with the waffles, and then the girls come in with the masks of Kier?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. But, yeah, the innies, they have no idea what's going on the outside. There's no windows where they're at. They're not allowed to look at the outside. So they're stuck in their stuffy offices doing, I don't even know what it is that they're doing yet. I guess it doesn't get revealed till the end of season 2. But yeah, they're barely even allowed to talk to people from other departments within the Lumen area.
Yeah.
So they're very isolated, which is not okay. The Bible shows us all throughout it that God did not create us to be isolated. He did not create us to be lone wolves. He created us to be in community with one another. So being isolated like that is not going to be healthy, obviously. And the innies, they have no idea who their families are and if they even have families. Like I forgot the guy's name, is the big guy with the glasses.
Yeah.
He finds out that he has a wife and he has a kid. And he finds out this because that one guy, the black guy, I forgot his name, does that, what's it called?
The overtime contingency.
Yeah, the overtime contingency in order to get information in order to make the guy with the glasses Audi turn into the innie for a split second. But the Audi's kid comes running in.
Yeah.
And the innie sees it right before it goes off. And so from that point on, he wants nothing more than to see his kid and wife. The innie does.
Yeah.
So yeah, all of that just becomes a hellish nightmare. And this whole group that the show focuses on, as it goes, they become more aware of what's going on, and they start, rebelling against going on in Lumen. Lumen becomes a very oppressive place. Because, again...
That's an understatement. They even go and basically threaten their families and all that. Yeah, goodness.
Yeah, it's basically a cult. Like I said earlier, it plays with the cult ideas here as well. Because the guy who started the entire company, they basically worship him.
Yeah.
And they make the innies worship him as well. There's basically their own Bible that they...
Yeah, they do. It's the handbook.
Yeah, the handbook.
But it's written in the same language or same writing style as the books of the Bible.
Yeah. That tends to happen. You tend to, when you get cults like that where somebody has obviously written something that's false, they take the same kind of style. Like you read I won't make any Mormon listen to this mad, but you read the Book of Mormon. That's how Joseph Smith wrote it.
Yeah.
The innies get oppressed.
Yes.
Or not get oppressed. They are oppressed. They're isolated. They're not allowed to do anything outside of their regular job that they're doing. They're only allowed to do that. They're treated as children. If they do a good job, they get, rewards and all that. Which isn't a bad thing for jobs to do, but the way that that black guy, I forgot his name. I'm terrible with character names and brand new TV shows.
Yeah.
And you start writing the names down. All I know is Mark and Kelly. And Bert, for some reason. Bert.
That's because that one
It's called
guy...
Christopher Walken, that's why.
That and the one guy keeps saying Bert more than anything else, to be entirely honest.
Yeah.
The guy who plays Falcone. Milchek, by the way.
Milchek. Who's Milchek?
Black guy.
Oh, okay.
The guy that they decided to take. They thought it would be an amazing idea to take all of the pictures from Kerry Egan and then make him black.
Yeah, oh, God.
They thought he was going to love that. And he's smiling, but as soon as they left, he hated everything about it.
Boy. That's
racism.
Yeah. It's like, we wanted to see you represent. We wanted to make sure you felt represented. And he's looking at it like, oh, thanks.
He cared nothing about that. What he cared about is having Cobell's name taken off the computer and Milchek putting on there.
Yeah, exactly. Because he's now in her place.
Yeah.
But yeah, the way that he treats them, he treats them like they're 5 years old. The Bible in multiple places talks about not oppressing, has strong words to say about systems that oppress people. Really, just screw over, like what Jesus calls the least of these, refers to as the least of these, like people who are very screwed over by the systems that they're in.
Yeah.
So all throughout the Bible, it shows that we as humans, we are not cogs in a machine. We are not robots. We are not just numbers meant to be exploited to, be as efficient as possible and churn out the most product as possible and just have this constant, never-ending competition of, we got to beat last year's thing. We got to get more. That meme of Kylo Ren going, more. Yeah, we're not called to do that. Efficiency is a good thing, and wanting to be excellent and efficient at the jobs that you do is what we should strive for. However, there is a line, and that line does need to be at the work-life balance. again, I'm going back to the pandemic thing because I think this ties in quite well. Before the pandemic, we're still kind of in this now that we're kind of post-pandemic. But before the pandemic, a lot of companies, they were constantly trying to, like, we got to turn out more products. We got to, corporatism, consumerism, just at an all-time high, and stress and people, work-life balance being completely out of whack, where it's what used to be 6 to 8 hours a day it has now turned into like 10, 14 hours a day. And so the pandemic happened, and then you had that entire movement of people just not going back, which, I understand why that movement happened. It's just, unfortunately, a lot of these people did not really plan on making their own things. A lot of them were not really natural, kind of like wired to be entrepreneurs or anything like that, so they didn't really have skills or didn't really build up skills for that. So unfortunately, they had no choice but to go back to those jobs. So now we're kind of we're a bit back in that post-pandemic now. But I do think that our society cannot run like this for long. I think that if companies do not collectively get over the whole we've got to get better, more, our society will collapse because people can't live like this all the time. And, again, like the Bible shows that we're not cogs in a machine. We are human beings, and we are created to work, but we're also created to rest and enjoy our work. And again, from the curse that happened in Genesis 3, it is vital that we rest from our work because we will just get broken down. And when we get broken down like that, it's not just physically, but mentally and spiritually as well, which is being broken down like that mentally and spiritually is worse than being broken down physically, because that is what will lead to collapse of societies. That is what will lead to a lot of disgruntled workers. And when you have an entire society of disgruntled workers, you are on the verge of an upheaval and just entire civilization collapse. So, yeah, and I hope and pray every day that our society makes a shift to the better. And I try to be a positive influence to make that shift. I think we can do that here with Restored Geeks. I do hope that we can, hopefully, help with, because there is, a shift of people trying to move, get, people to move and companies to move into a positive direction of not being so consumed with consumerism and corporatism. So hopefully we can help out with that. But again, that would also take a miracle. So I don't know. All I know is that it's vital for us to have a work-life balance. Even as Christians, the Bible calls for us to have that. And we're not called to rebel for the sake of rebelling, but we are called to rebel whenever things get so bad that it goes completely against God's design. And I do think that there are times where we may have to rebel against corporations, because I'm not a fan of when corporations...
No, I get it, yeah.
I'm not a fan of when corporations have people work 7 days a week, and they're not, and especially when, you have Christians, they're not able to go to church on Sundays mornings or whenever the church has it. I think that there are times where we may have to rebel in the sense of being no, listen, I've got... church is vital to me. I got to go to that.
Yeah, that is something that could work, that works for most companies, but we've also got to pull America's laziness out too, because they want restaurants to be open every single day and stuff like that.
Well, that'll take a huge shift of people not ordering restaurants.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
It's like with holidays. You'll have people be at Walmart, and they'll tell the cashiers on Thanksgiving, and they'll tell the cashiers, it's sad that you got to work on Thanksgiving. Well, it's because you're here. Why are you here on Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
So it's you have stuff like that, but...
Yeah, when they go to a restaurant on Thanksgiving as well, and they're like, oh, I'm sorry you had to work today. You came in.
Yeah, exactly.
Why are you sorry?
Yeah, exactly.
You're not sorry.
Yeah. But some of what I was saying there was kind of on tangents. The big thing is that, processing this from a Christian perspective, we as humans are created for a work-life balance. And it's vital that we have that. And it's vital that we as Christians especially help create an atmosphere that has that work-life balance, and that we don't have to go to these extremes that like Severance showcases. Because it's what goes on in that show with the outies and innies is like I said, a nightmare, and it's supposed to be, because that's the point of it. So yeah, that's how we process that, thematic through line throughout the show from a biblical perspective. So, got anything else to add? Anyway, that's all we got for this week's. Yeah, thank y'all for watching or listening. If you all like the video, make sure to the like button, hit that subscribe button. If you really like what we do, want to support us more, it'll help us out greatly. We love y'all, and God bless y'all, and we'll see you all next time. Peace.